These are a few of my favorite things. I don't think I should quit my day job, do you? I think I should stick to gardening. In today's video, I wanted to share with you a few of my favorite things I'm really glad to have as a gardener, things that are really helpful. Of course, I could garden without these things, but I'm kind of glad I don't have to. A lot of the gardening YouTube videos that I follow along with have been sharing their favorite things and gift ideas and things like that, and things that they love to use in their garden. So I thought I'm just going to jump on this bandwagon. Now we're kind of getting down to the wire almost with ordering things for Christmas, but there's still time to order a lot of these things that I'm talking about. In fact, probably still time to order all of them. These items I'm going to show you aren't only just for Christmas gifts. Of course, they make great birthday gifts. You know, you might just want to order something for yourself. A lot of the items are good for both men and women, so they're good for either gardener. And I also want to take a few minutes to welcome all of the new subscribers here. Thanks so much to my friend Danielle at North Lawn Flower Farm. This is the second time she's hosted me in the last couple of years on her channel, and because of that, a lot of you have come over and joined me as well. So welcome. I'm really glad you're here. Okay, so let's just spend a few minutes together looking at some of my favorite things. So one of the absolute must-haves for me in the garden is a good pair of waterproof boots. I have on a pair here, and then I have another pair, the same company. These I found on Amazon. It's from a company called Wander the World. I will link, or at least write everything in the description below so that you can go back and refer to it. I like this particular boot. Of course, number one, it's easy to slip on. The toe box is not super wide and floppy. I think maybe with some other brands it's a little bit wide and floppy. It's got pretty good tread on it. You can see I haven't really worn this particular pair too much. I did size up a half size. I usually wear an 8.5, so I sized up to a 9. And that way, if I wanted to put any extra padding or extra protection on the inside, I can do that. I've been wearing this pair that I have on all summer. I can wear them all day if need be. I do wear a knee-high boot from the company Muck Boots when I'm working with the cattle, but these are perfect for everyday gardening jobs. One of the tools that I really love is my Japanese hand hoe. Now it comes in a left or a right, if you're a lefty or a righty. It's perfect if you want to thin out some seedlings. Last year I was in big trouble with my bachelor's button. They were so close together. I had sewn them so close together and they had gotten so big, and I said, oh man, how am I going to thin these? And then actually I saw Lisa Mason Ziegler using her Japanese hand hoe to thin her, I think it was bachelor's button, and she just popped out right at each one that she wanted to thin. And I said, brilliant, I have one of those. So this is the one that I keep out here on my faux porch, and I kind of keep it semi-protected. This is the one that I keep in my laundry room, and I have it ready to go for one of my back gardens when I want it. But anyway, you can see here it's very sharp, and it's great also for popping up weeds in your garden space and things like that. This is something that's extremely useful to me. I use it quite a bit. Bought my Japanese hand hose from the Gardener's Workshop, and I'll link that below. Another tool that I really love is my Hori knife. You saw me use this in a previous video when I did a one plant transformation, and I keep it in its sheath because it is very sharp. And you can see here it has measurements on it in inches and millimeters. That's really helpful if you're planting bulbs or something and you want to plant them 6 inches, then you have your Hori knife. This one is a good one because the metal, the steel, comes all the way through the handle, so I know that it's not going to break here at the blade. So this is called a Hori knife, H-O-R-I. I will link where I bought it in the description below. I did get this one on Amazon. Another item that I use quite a bit is my garden marker. This is just a great inexpensive gift for someone if you're doing a little basket or something and you want for a gardener and you want to stick a little something in here. The garden marker is great. It's made for outdoor use. It holds up much better than a Sharpie, I've found. So the garden marker is something I use quite a bit. I got this on the Gardener's Workshop as well, but I think you can also find them on Amazon. They make different thicknesses of them. I've seen wider ones that do a wider stroke and everything like that, but I love my garden markers. And of course, what gardener doesn't need multiple pair of gardening gloves? I know I do. I have, I don't know how many pairs. These I really like. These are from the company called Diggs. And I like these because you cannot even tell that you have gloves on. I like these a lot. These are from another company called Boss. And I like these also. These have a little bit more of a grip on them, but I love my pink, of course. These feel really good too. The digs feel the best, but these have the best grip on them. And I buy my gardening gloves in various places. Sometimes it's a garden center. I have ordered some from the Gardener's Workshop. Sometimes it's a hardware store. So wherever I can find a good pair of gardening gloves, I pick up several. Another thing that I love having as a gardener and a cattle farmer are my Duluth bibs. And I do have the Carhartt type that are all stiff and everything. I have some insulated ones and I walk around like this, because they're so stiff. This material is almost, it feels waterproof, and I'd have to look up online for the Duluth to see if it is waterproof. I can't remember, but they have a lot of pockets. They're very forgiving. They're stretchy, somewhat stretchy. So for my body type, they're perfect and they're not restricting. With full disclosure, I don't use these a lot for gardening. I do some. What I mainly use these for is slipping it right over my clothes, my jeans, my sweatshirts, my hoodies, whatever I have on when it's cold, as an extra layer of protection when I'm doing my cattle chores and things like that. These are really good. I've worn these playing in the snow with my grandchildren. Really a all-around good bib. They're really good for summer, winter, like I said, wearing them over your clothes, your jeans. I did size down a size because all the reviews said that they ran big, and I found that to be true. I have 2 pairs and I really like them. I definitely can recommend the Duluth bib. Okay, so I've kind of saved the best for last. I am so glad to have this tool in my gardening toolbox. This is my 20-volt DeWalt drill and the power planter augers. I've only ever used the power planter augers, so I can't speak for any other augers. I do know that I have put these through their paces. I make a joke and say that we grow rocks on this farm, and you start digging in the ground and you're going to hit rock here. The power planter augers have really held up. I have several power planter augers in several different sizes. This particular one is a 3-inch in diameter. I believe it's a 3-inch in diameter by 12 inches long. They have all different sizes, all different diameters, a bunch of different cool colors. I mean, you know, we got to have our augers with cool colors. You can see that I've really used this one quite a bit because it's getting a little bit, the paint is getting a little bit worn. If you take a look at the power planter products, I believe they have a lifetime warranty. There's just so much to offer from that company. I actually bought my drill from them. I bought the drill and 2 augers at that time. They had a deal going on, and I purchased it. I am so glad. And I'm also very glad I used the handle. I always kind of preach that use the side handle if you're going to use an auger, because it can turn on you. Just as a little disclaimer, you want to make sure you have your drill and everything. Follow the instructions that they give you with the power planter auger and you will be fine. But I just absolutely love my power planter augers. One other thing that I want to give an honorable mention to is my silicone ring. I have quite a few to choose from. I like to wear my wedding ring when I'm working out in the garden, or if I'm working with the cattle or something like that. Now, if you have the tradition that you don't like to take off your wedding band, if you've never taken off your wedding band, I totally get that. That's fine. I don't have that tradition. My original wedding band from almost 44 years ago is in my jewelry box, but I have fallen in love with silicone rings. They're just so practical for working outside. They're safe. I won't catch my hand on a fence or something and rip my finger open, which I have seen that happen. It's horrible. Gloves go right over top of them without damaging them or anything. Of course, when you're a gardener or you're working with animals, you wash your hands several times a day. You probably wash your hands several times a day anyway these days. And then we're doing the lotion or the hand sanitizer or whatever. It won't hurt these silicone rings. That is something that as a gardener or a cattle farmer, I would definitely put on my list for someone to give me as a gift. Of course, there's so many other things that we could mention. Garden snips and garden pruners, my garden pop-up bag, a garden kneeler, a kneeling pad, you name it. It's out there for the garden. These are some of the things that I thought about that are my favorite things that I use all the time. And these would be some of my gift suggestions to give to others or even to buy for yourself. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I've got some other videos that will be coming out. and I'm excited about those. I'm doing some Christmas decorating. I need to decorate, or I want to decorate my faux porch here for Christmas. I always try to do that, so I'll bring you guys along for that. So friends, I'm glad you joined us today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.